that day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit. Yeah, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here. This is Pinky, the housewife. Let me see where is that coming from. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, I found it. I had an echo coming from somewhere, a link or something. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Whew. Thank you all for being here. It's Saturday. The weekend is here. Saturday, the 26th. Yeah, I'm glad it's the weekend. I'm just resting. That's all I'm going to do today is rest. That's why my live is late this evening because I've been resting after I got back from physical therapy early this morning. I just came and just rested. Let me do one more thing. I need to make sure my phone's off. Let me do that. Let me just say while I'm doing all that, let me just see who we got in here. Um, Let me see. Renita, thank you for being here, my love. Thank you for being here in the Pink House. And I hope you're having a good Saturday, because I know I am. I'm just trying to get some stuff straight here, because I just want to make sure everything is straight and everything. That's all. Okay. I'm just straightening up my desk. That's all. Um, and everybody that's watching and in the bushes and everything, happy Saturday and welcome to the Pink House. Let me just go ahead and just do those. There it is, right there. And then don't forget to hit that like button, which is very, very important to me because that helps keeps me in the algorithm. It helps keeps me where I need to be in the algorithm, and it just helps promote the channel. It gives more people a chance to watch it. By you hitting that like button, it helps YouTube to push my videos out to more people that may like my content. So that's why it's very important to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel because I'm almost there. I think I need no, I'm not. I need 190 subscribers to hit a goal I've been working at for a while, 6,000 subscribers. So, and like I said, it doesn't cost a thing, not a penny, to hit the like button or subscribe to the channel. To do those two things, it doesn't cost a thing. I'm going to have to make a little slide that says it's free. It doesn't cost a thing to hit that like or subscribe. Thank you guys, and I do appreciate it. And when you get a chance, go over to Pink Global and hit that subscribe to that channel so we can get that one done too. Hi, King. Thank you for being here. Happy Saturday to you. Thank you for being here. We got some good stuff. To be honestly, I'm very excited to see because you know how you watch something and you haven't watched it all? That's me. So I'm kind of excited to see my own commentary, to hear what's going on myself. So, and I already made my thumbnail for tomorrow, and I already got everything set up for tomorrow. And I'll tell you what that's going to be in just a minute. Oh no, I may not want to do that. Well, I'll see. I just show you the thumbnail. But anyway, um, it's going to be very good today. Very, very good. I can't wait to hear it all because I only heard a little of it. I'm talking about the stuff I put together. Okay, only heard. So I can't wait to finish up. Let me just do one thing right quick. No, that's not it. Oh no. Let me take that down. Just give me that 1 second. I'm just waiting till everything comes up. Ooh. Ooh. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Let me see. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and get on with the matter at hand. Okay. Now, y'all know that I have to come back to that. Y'all know that shoot, I forgot what I was getting ready to say. Something just I'm looking at something I was trying to get taken care of, and it's still not done yet. Loading. So y'all know how lately I've been loving to throw out a video and everything at the very beginning, and we're going to do that. But let me just get this up for you all. So we're going to be talking about the rapper Cash Out. Now, some of you, I think everybody know who he is. Okay, if you don't know, you're getting ready to find out. Cash Out. Okay. Let me just tell you, his trial was, him and Diddy got a trial going on for the same done thing. Well, let me just say, Cash Out get life in prison on his RICO charges. And then you know what this one here get on his RICO charges? I'm not gonna even say it. Y'all know what he get. Slap on the wrist. Slap on the wrist. I hope the judge do what's need to be done. Don't go by those recommendations from the defense. Mm-mm. Matter of fact, not even the prosecution. Do what's right. But anyway, let me take this food down. Okay, but anyway, so he gets this is him when he's not dressed in prison uniform or jail uniform. That's a jail, Fulton County jail inmate, not prison yet. Sooner or later, it's going. Well, it's already saying Fulton County, or whatever you want to call the jail, prison. Yeah. But anyway, this is him to the left when he got on some clothes. I don't see why these nice looking guys ruin their life when they get into the music industry or the Hollywood in the movie industry. I just don't understand. I think they all just lost their doggone mind. It's just already in them. Before they got there, they already had it in them. You can't turn a demon into a godly person, a good person. If the heart is already cold, there ain't nothing you can do to warm it back up. That heart is already cold and unalive. So you can't pump that heart. You can't take that heart like this mouth and put pressure on and pump it so it can breathe again. If it's already dead to the soul, it's already dead, unalive. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and let me show you the no, let me just say this. Not just him, but his mama. That's her right there. That's his mama. Her name is Linda. Not she her name is not wait now. Yeah, Linda Smith. I don't know why I was getting ready to say Lisa. It's Linda. I knew it was Linda. I don't know why I was trying to say Lisa, but it's Linda. Yeah, Linda Smith. That shirt said what she got on said, "I'm not lazy, just really enjoy doing nothing." She was doing a whole lot of nothing though. See all that money, big stacks of money in her hand? It's almost like she holding a big box of Kleenex like this here. Okay, this is my big box of stack of money. I mean, if you look at it, see here, she's holding it like that. So it's like, this is my big stack of money, guys. I got some money too. I got some money too. I got my big stack of money right here. My big stack of money right here. You know, that's what it's almost like. She holding a big stack of money. That big stack of money didn't come honestly, in my opinion. That big stack of money came from the slavery of young women. Whew, whew, Lord. Let me just show you this. And then don't forget his cousin too. His cousin also. Wait, let me show a picture of him. That's him right there. Now he ain't old now. This is a young guy. He's gonna spend the rest of his life in prison. There's no way you getting out. You got long stay. You're gonna spend so long in there. You're able to share your sentence with Diddy. You can share it with a lot of more these people in the industry that's harming and hurting young girls. You can share it with them, and all y'all still would not make it out alive. That's how long his sentences is. Golly. But life plus 70 years, you ain't gonna even make the 70. That's why I said you can share it. Share it with the Diddler. Get R. Kelly some more. Give him another 20. You can add him, give him 20 of your sentence to help work it off for you. You can give Diddy the 100. Even if you just say Diddy, take the 70 and I'll do the 100 years. Nobody is gonna make it out. Nobody's gonna make it out. Because when you do wrong, you right where you should be. And for your mama to be doing that, I don't talk about nobody's mama, and I'm not going to talk about yours, because people get all upset when you talk about their mama. So I'm not going to do that. But that's wrong. You sure did do some wrong, dirty stuff. That's wrong what you did. You shouldn't be doing that. Those young women are scarred for the rest of their life. Where were they mama? Where were the daddy, the brothers, the uncles, the cousins? Or did they have a part in it? I don't know. And I pray and I hope not. Because that would be a sad, sad thing to hear or see. I don't think my ears could take it. My ears cannot take it. It's so much spiritual warfare is going on. When I say it is, it is. It's almost like it's the world, Hollywood, and the music industry. All those industries are turning so dark. They always been dark, but like Cat Williams said, all will be revealed. Hi, Terry. Thank you for coming here. Hi, Pinky in the chat. I always get my notification after the live show is in progress. Sure. That is, you know what? That ain't nothing but YouTube. You know how they love clown. Half the time people don't even get them. And I'm glad you get them, Terry. I will be contacting you too. I'm praying for premium. Paying for premium. Thank you. Thank you, Terry, so much. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Some people tell me, Terry, they don't even get them. I'm serious. This been going on for a while. That's you too. But I always tell y'all, uh, every time you see it, just hit although you always hit your notification, just keep hitting it every time because that's YouTube. They're gonna do what they want to do. But I ain't gonna talk too much because knowing StreamYard, they may have a problem right now. I'm trying to crisscross my legs like that. Uh, Thank you, Terry. Okay, now we're getting ready to get started. I'm going to show y'all my first. Oh, let me show y'all. Remember, I said I was going to show you his Instagram, which is just filthy, 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 filthy. You see, y'all. I'm not going to click on the money because there may be some music behind it. Part of being a boss is loving people before you love yourself. Oh my Lord. Y'all see this stuff? How can you love somebody and you treating women the way you treat them? Ain't no loving in that at all. Oh, we ain't gonna even click on that one in the center. See, and you got all these women with their butts hanging out. You see that? What he write don't make no sense to me. Be careful who you build up, because people will use you for the foundation and finish the structure with somebody who never seen anything in them or thought about elevating them to higher heights. 100. What? What? That's a person that's trying to make people think they're a good person, and they know they're not. They know they're not a good person. I can't even click on half of these videos. Oh, you see, oh my God. You don't see that? I'm not going to even read it. See, that's what, see there? Mm-mm. Okay, let's get away from that. Let's get away from that one. We don't even want to watch that one. Not with me because I'm paying for a service. Okay. Okay. Um, Let me go ahead and show you all the first TikTok. You know, I've been trying to get it kicked off, like always, with something fun. Let me, where is it? The one I wanted to kick it off with. What is it? No, that's the last one. So that's the last one. So the other one was, what? Oh, okay, wait, guys. I'm trying to see which one it was. Oh, wait, I know how to find it. Let me see. True Story 78. Let me just make sure. Give me one. Okay, I found that one. Let me see what the other one said. Okay. Let me just locate it. The second one now. Give me 1 second, guys. Is it below it? Oh, Lord. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I'll remember which one it was as soon as I see it. Uh, well, tell you what, I'll play the first one first again. I'll just do this one first. Okay? I'm sorry. I'll find that second one. Okay? I'll find it. This is the first one y'all got to watch. Because if everybody had listened to Cat Williams when he spoke, they wouldn't be in the situation where they are now. He told them, he gave them another warning just last year in 2024. They didn't believe him. And then Monique got on there and even tried to say the same thing. Although both of them was at Shannon Sharp, but you're supposed to listen. And now everybody's in. So I'm glad everything is being exposed. You know why? Because there was a lot of people out there, children, women, even men, even their mothers and their families had to endure this too. That was hurt, that was suffering. So you got to expose the demons. Thank you, Kat. Okay, let's play this one here.
Cat Williams, you betrayed us. Remember, it all started when you was exposing the industry on the Shay Show. And when you was doing comedy, always exposing the truth. But what I want to know is, what is this? Huh? Now you went from exposing the industry to working with the industry? I'm confused. This was for GQ. What is this, bro? And I know what that chain means. People are saying that Cat Williams is a warlock. But to be honest with you, I don't believe that at all. Out of all the outfits you could have wore, why this one? Why this one? What's up with that hat? What is going on here, Cat? I thought you was on our side. I thought you was here to wake people up. But it seems like you went back to sleep. Now, I got no problems with Cat Williams. I'm not here to discredit him or anything. He's a funny person. He's a great comedian. But I don't like when people switch sides without ordering an extra side of fries. What I want to know is, why would the industry want to work with somebody exposing the industry? Something's going on here, guys. People are saying that he's a controlled opposition. People are saying that. I didn't say nothing. But I just think that he's just playing his position. Shh! Shut up! This video is for entertainment purposes only. I like Cat Williams. I'm just trying to understand, why did he switch up on us so fast? I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm out of here. Cat.
That was fun. I love that one. And I had two of them. And I can't find it right now, but I'm going to be looking for it. And then maybe I'll play it a little later on. But that was, lately I've been saying, try to start it off with a TikTok click or something. And let me, okay. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with the, this is rapper Cash App, okay? He's locked up for life now, behind bars in prison, where when y'all listen to this trial, this is the trial. When y'all listen to this, it's going to shock you. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. I bought this hat a long time ago. One of my very good, she's a family friend. She had breast cancer twice, and then she hadn't had cancer about 3 or 4 times, and she's still doing good. She's strong. So I when she used to sell the T-shirts or something, or raising money by selling the T-shirts or hats and stuff, I get little things from her. But this is one of my favorite hats. Okay, thank you though. Um, let me go ahead and get that video started. This is the trial. And when y'all, it's going to show, you're going to be listening to some of the victims. I think it's about 3 of them. Okay. They're going to speak. And then you're going to also hear from him. He's going to he's going to give a statement at the end, his mama, and then his cousin. So they all 3 is going to speak. And you're going to have to watch it to the end, because there's something that's supposed to go on at the end. Oh, hell, it's going to break loose. And just listen to what he say. He's comparing himself with some godly person. He's just flipping the script. Most narcissists, I'm not saying he's one, because you know, you know how the Martell is, the demon boy. We know that's a narcissist. Okay, he know it too. Demon boy know he's one too. But anyway, he tends to have he's doing what a narcissist would do: flip the script, blame everybody else for why you're there, blame all of them. They're the like Diddy, blame Cassie and all the women. He's blaming them all too. He's blaming everybody, trying to make himself seem so godly. But this is I'm going to go ahead and show it. Let me bring it up. Okay. This is the this is something else. So before I even show it, the information is going to be down in my description box below my video. So if you want to go back and watch it, you can. Okay. He's getting sentenced alongside his mama. Yes, he is. His mama's going down, and he's going down with the mama. Oh, Lord, that's what let you know how far I was watching. Okay. Let me just catch up and see. My grandma and aunt, my debit card has the breast cancer logo. Oh, see there? It looks like this one here, right? I love it. You know what? When I wear the hat, people always love it. I always get compliments. I always get a compliment or some compliments when I'm out with this hat. And it's so old. It's so old. But I love it. Sorry, both had breast cancer. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Terry. All right. I pray that they're better. Because you say it has. So I'm hoping that they're better and enjoying living. Okay. Prayers go out to you and your family. I'm going to go ahead and start this. Okay. We might not see it all, but we're going to watch as much as we can. Here we go. Let me show you. The lady over to the, let me see what this, no, you can't see my little pink thing. But the lady over to the left, no, that's my right. Over to his right, you see Cash Out. He's sitting beside the man with the gray beard and gray hair. And then there's somebody sitting in between them. I'm assuming that's her attorney. And then you see the mama. The mama is the one with the navy shirt, prison uniform shirt with the white t-shirt on. With the her hair is in locks, and she got the tattoos up around her neck. And then if you look over, you see the cousin over at the end of the table, sitting beside the man with the gray suit on. The bald-headed man with the gray suit on. So that's the cousin. So this is a family going down for RICO, for trafficking and everything, you know? Yes, they're going down. And mama got a lot of years too. And mama got 30 years because mama took the plea deal. Okay? Cousin got life plus 70 years too. So cousin, you ain't gonna get out. Mama is already old, so she ain't getting out either. 30 years. I hope. Well, I don't know. She may be coming out on a cane or something. I don't know. Will she make it another 30 years? I don't know. It's not like they treat you very well. Um, oh, both gone. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, Terry. Both gone. Typing too fast. That's okay. That's okay. But we're gonna go ahead and get this started. But that's a family sitting in there. They all gone down. So that's like having 3 family members that you got to go visit in prison. No, I wouldn't be going. It's just me. Because go see them for what? You know, prison, the men in prison don't like nobody coming in doing what these people are alleged to be done. And then the mama, the women prisoners don't like it either. So they're gonna have a hard time in there. They may get, you know how Diddy do these young people in the industry, these young boys, they're gonna get clapped wide open, busted wide open. They better make sure they got some baby oil. Better make sure you get your baby oil. Yeah, I'm just saying. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, what I did say, this takes some turns. It's gonna be some stuff going on. Y'all make sure you watch this to the end. It's just crazy. Okay? It's crazy. It's gonna be, this courtroom ain't gonna be nice. Get ready for some kicking up some heels and everything.
Weeks before trial. We'd also ask the court to consider just the danger and threat to the community that these defendants pose. We right now have victim impact letters that we'd ask the court to consider in those statements. I would ask our victim witness advocates to read those into the record at the court's question.
All right. These are the victims coming up in your speech.
Good morning.
Or their families.
Our first statement is from Jessica McQuarrie. Hi, my name is Jessica McQuarrie. I wanted to write this impact statement to let John Gibson know what he did to me was unacceptable, and it caused me a lot of pain and hurt in my life. I was already going through a rough time when I met him. I really did trust him when I met him. He promised me that I would get my kids back, which was a big effect on my life because at the time, that's all I wanted was to have my kids in my life.
Okay.
Sorry. I thought I would be able to go back home, have things for my kids, and be able to get my kids back in my life, but that was empty promises. I have gone through so much since all this happened. I have gone through many doctor's visits. I've done a lot of therapy to try to overcome this situation that affects me to this day. I have PTSD, I have depression, anxiety. It's hard to sleep at night without having flashbacks and night terrors of everything that's happened. I don't even get to have a normal relationship because I'm in fear of what the next person might do. It's hard for me to trust anyone in my life. I've had to overcome a lot of things in my life, which has made me the person that I am today. And I hope that John Gibson, his mom, and cousin get what they have coming to them through this trial. You have affected many girls and their families through this whole situation with sex trafficking and abusing all of us girls. Not once did you ever think about our feelings and what we wanted and how we trusted you to get to where we needed to be or what we wanted to be in life. It's sad that you couldn't see our pain and our hurt and what we have had to endure since all this happened. I hope you get what you have coming to you. And you don't have to get out of prison for a very long time, even if you do get out. You can sit in prison and think about all the things that you have done wrong to us girls. Okay, we have Mr. and Mrs. Wiwatowski on Zoom, and they'd like to make their own statement. Do you want that?
I'm on. Can you hear me?
1 second. Is this one statement, a joint statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Ms. Wiwatowski, let me
Honorable Judge. Yes.
Let me see your face, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was on. I don't know how to turn it back on. Here it is. I'm more not so privy with Zoom. I use.
Thank you.
I'll stay on. I have no problem keeping my camera on.
All right, so right.
Honorable Judge, our daughter became involved with the defendant in the summer of 2015. She had just only turned 21 in the March of the same year. Because she was so young, we were still paying for her car insurance, her cell phone. This is how we located our only child, who was taken from North Carolina to Georgia with a promise to be his girlfriend, and even told he was meeting his mother. Please understand the relevance to that statement, because I have been married since September of 1989. And all these warm and fuzzy triggers played into the scam of his wealth and the role that he would play in these women's lives, using his one-hit wonder status to steal their person. He and his mom literally stole the souls of all the women that they victimized. This is evident in our daughter's case, as what he did to her defined her what she is today. She has been traumatized to the point she can't even be a mother to her own children. She's been in counseling since this incident and suffers post-traumatic stress disorder because of the violence and deceit that he and his mom delivered. These individuals withheld food while they were selling these young ladies on the internet to these Johns. And they would keep every dollar too. That's how they made their money. They didn't make it by music. They simply used the music platform to lure these women in. Please consider that my daughter was an honor student who graduated high school in 2012 with almost an associate's degree in biology, and she was attending college for dental in 2015 when he made his broken promises and forced her into prostitution. We filed a missing person report. We contacted the Atlanta police. When no one listened, I called him, and guess what? I told him, like the movie Taken, I was coming and getting my own. Now, for the defense, who states, well, why didn't you just leave? Because these clowns were everywhere and literally at the side of my car.
Ms. Wiewatowski, I want you to focus your statement as an impact statement, and I want you to direct your comments to me, okay?
Okay, well, she made a point to get us as close as.
Let me just say this. I think he's getting pissed. Just my opinion. By the way he's acting, throwing his head up like this and stuff. Because he's gonna let it out when it's his turn. Let me pull my shoes off. He's gonna let it out when it's his turn to get up there. He's gonna flip the script. He's gonna flip it over and blame everybody else. That's what they do. And you can tell he's getting kind of pissed. And seems like if you look at his mother on her face, seems like she's just realizing, because I was watching it. You saw how far I got, right? I was watching it, and it seems like she's just getting it. Like it's just coming through her mind, the effect and the harm and the things that she did, and she knew she was wrong. But it's too late to take it back. So you got to pay for what you did.
It's possible. My point is, within minutes of we getting our daughter, that Mama Cash and another woman were in the side of our car, and we barely escaped. So to say that children could just walk off, they couldn't. These people were everywhere. Please give all the victims their day by throwing the book at these folks. Remember the parents that traveled and drove from their home to his door to do a well check for their daughter. Remember how we put ourselves in danger to save our daughter. And finally, remember and resonate with the fact that even though we restored her body, we have been unsuccessful in saving and healing the person because of the trauma that these animals delivered. Thank you very much. I'm done.
Mm-hmm. That was good. She did a good impact statement.
The next statement is from Diamond Irvin. My past dealing with Cash Out and Tyrone Taylor has impacted my life in a major way. Because of these people, I know they are. Because of the people I know they are, I'm in consistent fear of my life and for the well-being of my family. I know what they are capable of, and I know how far they can extend. So for the rest of my life, I will fear that they will kill me. I will never forget the times that he threatened to kill me with a gun, even firing gunshots indoor wherever we were, all because he was mad that I didn't want to go out and do what he wanted me to do. They know where members of my family live, and I will rest easier knowing that these two individuals are locked up for their crimes. I suffer severe depression from my past experience with these two individuals, as well as persistent anxiety. I have been in and out of the emergency room for at least 6 times to receive treatment for symptoms such as high blood pressure and rapid heart rate because of the trauma that Cash Out and Tyrone Taylor put me through. I have been prescribed several medications to help me deal with these symptoms. As a result of their manipulation of me, I have found it hard to gain and keep employment, and I have had to relocate out of the state of Georgia just to get away from them. I hope the court takes my experience into strong consideration when sentencing Cash Out and Tyrone Taylor, so that me and my family and others would seek to do harm to be safer and protected. The next statement is from Janae Wright. I have gone back and forth writing this just to soothe my soul and allow my spirit to rest it deserves by being satisfied.
Hey guys, let me just say this. That is his Cash Out is his stage name. His real name is John Michael Kaheen Gibson. Okay, so.
With vindication felt from facing one of my demons responsible for the most traumatic experience I've ever lived through by testifying. However, the God I serve knows me, and that same God prompted me to release this burden from my heart and speak one last time. So here it goes. In 2015, I was robbed and raped at gunpoint by 2 men while in a hotel with my best friend. In 2015, I was 20 years old, young, free, open-hearted, optimistic, and had an insatiable lust for life. However, after the event in 2015, I became anxiety and depression-stricken, filled with paranoia and severely distrustful of everything and everyone. That was cowardly, and inwardly, I felt alone, afraid, disgusting, unloved, and unlovable because I was tainted by an experience that altered my personality so much that I couldn't even recognize myself.
I never heard of him. Oh, you never heard of him? Oh, okay. His mom, look at his mom's face. It looks like she have sorrow for what she have done. Seems like it's hitting her, that she's going to be in there for the rest of her life, 30 years. I'm just saying that's almost like the rest of her life if she make it out of there in 30 years. But anyway, okay, you said no, okay. And seem like it's just hitting her, what they're saying, and all this coming out. Yeah, woman, you did wrong. You was wrong, and you and your son was wrong.
Repulsed by the thought that I would be forced to explain to anyone who attempted to bond with me, and fearful of being too much to deal with, because why would anyone love a victim of such a heinous and fearful of a heinous thing, or fearful of being questioned because my story didn't make sense, and I would not be seen as a victim I really was. Pushing away anyone close to me before they could leave me first. But worst of all, I felt like I didn't deserve to live anymore. As I sit in my tears, remembering how this one event spiraled into the darkest moments of my entire existence, I remember the gut-wrenching feeling of having to explain to my friends and family that cared about me what happened, and the feeling of being judged, just as I did the day that the police were called and ignored me as well. I wanted to die. I tried to die. And had it not been for me hearing my grandmother's voice while I drifted into what I thought would be a peaceful death after swallowing what I thought was enough Tylenol PM to end my life, I never would have had the strength to turn on my stomach and make myself vomit until it hurt. But at that time, I was miserable, desperate, alone, and afraid of the entire world, and even myself. It's been 10 years of hell, healing, and hope that one day I would be able to tell my story, and it would finally bring justice. So when I was contacted in 2022, I knew I had to tell it. For my then 4-year-old, now 8-year-old daughter, that I vowed to protect with my entire being. For Frederica, the most loyal friend I've ever had. For the women and victims I learned about along the way, but most importantly, for myself. Dear John Michael Hakeem Gibson, you don't deserve prison. Prison will be too good of a place for you. But since the death penalty is not an option, I pray that you never know peace, and that your soul will never return to this realm after it leaves. You are a disgrace and an abomination and true definition of a monster. I hope that the judge finds it in her heart to make sure that you will never know freedom as long as you live.
Good morning. I will be reading a statement on behalf of Talicia Dewberry. It states, good morning. Reliving the events surrounding this trafficking case has affected me both mentally and physically. Since the investigation and my testimony, I've struggled with severe nightmares and flashbacks that disturb my sleep and concentration. The memories of what I witnessed and endured continue to resurface unexpectedly, leaving me feeling anxious and emotionally overwhelmed. This trauma has begun to affect my relationship with my loved ones. Where I was once present and engaged, now I feel myself withdrawing, easily agitated, and unable to fully connect. My performance at work has also been compromised. Tasks that once felt routine now don't feel the same, as my ability to focus deteriorates under emotional distress. I share this not as a complaint, but to give a voice to the invisible weight that many survivors carry. I'm committed to healing and I'm grateful for the resources available, but I hope this statement provides a deeper insight into the toll this case continues to take on my life. Thank you for listening and for advocating on behalf of those who are still navigating the aftermath. Sincerely, Talicia Dewberry. And I have a statement on behalf of Jasmine Brown, which states, I wish him nothing but hell. And now I'll be reading this statement on behalf of Kiera Adams.
And Your Honor, we state for the record, we spoke with Kiera Adams' attorney, Jacoby Hudson. He's given us permission to read the statement.
Thank you.
I'm writing this to respectfully provide insight into the profound impact that being coerced into sex work has had on my life and my family. I want you to know the severe emotional, psychological, physical, and social consequences that I have endured. Many days I want to give up, but I keep fighting. No one truly understands the pain that I have experienced and continue to struggle with in my life. I've been wearing an ankle monitor for over 2 years, which means I'm unable to take a simple bath, find clothes to cover it so people don't freak out nor judge me. Daily stress of making sure it's charged, adding weight to my leg, and has severely scarred my ankle. Being forced into sex work was not a choice, but a situation driven by bad consequences or just getting involved with the wrong guy. This experience has left me deep scars in every aspect of my life. The constant fear for my safety and that of my family is overwhelming. As faced with explicit threats of harm if I attempted to leave, the threats created a sense of terror that continues to haunt me and my family daily, making it difficult to feel secure even now. The psychological toll has been devastating, and I have struggled with severe depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, numbness, emptiness, and feeling like I am constantly being judged or punished. These mental health challenges sometimes caused me to break down, which left me unable to function normally or maintain stability in my life. The stigma attached to my past has compounded these struggles as I face relentless judgment from others in my community, workplaces, family, and friends. This judgment has made it incredibly hard in my life to secure stable, well-paying employment, as employers often dismiss me upon learning my history regardless of my qualifications or effort. My family has also been profoundly affected. The shame and stigma associated with my coerced involvement into sex work has strained our relationships, caused them significant emotional distress. I am no longer close with many of my family members, and they no longer talk to me or want to be around me. They too live in fear of retaliation from those who once controlled me and threaten to cause harm to me and my family, such as shoot up my mom's house. Each day I'm faced with the task of trying to escape the cycle of fear, judgment, and economic hardship, which is very exhausting and challenging. I respectfully ask that you consider the immense challenges I have faced as a result of being coerced into sex work. Challenges that include ongoing mental health struggles, social ostracism, economic instability, and thoughts of living under consistent threats. These circumstances.
Seems like Mama is, do she have a runny nose? Or is she crying about the fact of what she took part in and her hand in to ruining and destroying these young women's lives? They have PTSD, probably can't sleep, probably can't even hold down a job anymore, a real job, what I'm saying. Probably will not ever be able to trust a man again. She's crying because now she's scared. Yeah. Yes, Mama. Yeah. Let me just say this. People in prison, they watch TV. They love to see who's on the news and why they coming in to the prison house and behind the bars. So when you come in, they already know who you are and they waiting on you. Because they're going to tear that butt up. They're going to tear it up. All three of them, they're going to get tore up. And that's good for them. So they know what it's like. If you,
Experiences have shaped my life in ways I never could have anticipated, and I'm working relentlessly to rebuild and move forward. I now have stable employment and previously enrolled in an online college for animation. I humbly request your compassion and understanding into your consideration of my case. Thank you for taking the time to read this letter and for considering my circumstances. I am grateful for the opportunity to share my story. Respectfully, Kiera Adams. And Judge, we have one more statement by Jordan Adams. She would like to read it for herself.
Sure. All right, Ms. Adams, if you'll come right up here, please direct all your comments to me, okay? All right.
Mom is over there being
I
affected
wound up
by
in the company of
something.
these strangers during a dark time in my life.
People
Bring the
are
microphone
crying
up, please. Thank you.
in the courthouse.
They violated me,
Brooklyn.
assaulted me, and attempted to market and sell me for the purposes of prostitution. Can you believe that after hours of rape and assault, I consider myself lucky? Because had they been successful, had my family not tracked me down, had Officer Yamians and his degree of skill and experience witnessing victims of human trafficking not recognized my distress and rescued me, I would have been further victimized on a regular basis for God knows how long. In my vulnerable state, I simply wasn't strong enough to save myself or even found value in saving myself. These defendants not only saw this and preyed on this, they further violated, assaulted, and victimized me and attempted to profit off of this vulnerability as if my body was a wholesale product they sought to make revenue from. I need you to know how much these events not only affected me in my life, but even the lives of those I love. These crimes go much further beyond just us women in this case, but the loved ones in our life as well. The past 6.5 years, I've had nightmares on average 1 to 2 times a week. My own daughter has woken me up from these nightmares, my girlfriend, family members. I've been told I sound petrified, probably because I am. In these nightmares, it's always the same. I'm held down, I cannot move, and their voices are laughing at me, telling me they're gonna do whatever they want to me. I can't breathe and I gasp and I wake up crying. Like my mother and brother mentioned when they picked me up, I was utterly broken with a 1,000-yard stare. That didn't go away for about nearly 2 years after this event. I was catatonic, I couldn't be near or close to men. It was difficult to hold down a job. The flashbacks would often come crashing into my brain, solicited or not, to the point I'd have panic attacks and even cover my ears in an attempt to quiet their haunting voices in my head. The day these defendants chose to commit these crimes against me, they gave me a life sentence, and there was no mercy or consideration. And while I worked my butt off to successfully complete probation, win custody of my daughter, and work at nearly every major gun store and firing range in the state of Georgia to become a qualified firearm instructor in the areas of self-defense, I can tell you today that none of it has fully healed me from this violence and trauma. I don't know if there will ever be enough time. On an everyday basis, I wear 4 to 5 blades, a stun gun, pepper spray, a full-size weapon, and 80 rounds of law enforcement grade HST. And my clients often ask me, is that necessary? And Your Honor, I say absolutely. Because I know what it feels like to nearly lose your life, and as a woman, lose a piece of your soul and that you can never get back, to witness and encounter evil where there's no hesitation to harm you. I've seen it and survived it. I know today that I'm equipped and qualified to defend my life for others and to share this knowledge with others. Not only do I owe it to help others and their healing and to serve my community, I owe it to the girl that I used to be, the girl that couldn't save herself. But perhaps this step right here will offer me the healing I and these women in the community need from the offenses the court has recognized these people committed. Regarding sentencing, I'd like to reiterate that my nightmares and flashbacks and my sentence is only one of many. There are many, many other women who went unnamed during this trial. John Michael Gibson and his mother affected so many women, Your Honor. For God's sake, he picked his own mother out. It's no less impact on the community. What their sentences should be, I know that's your decision, but this is, I'm sorry, excuse me. They were in a criminal organization of prostitution and human trafficking, victimizing other women. They're all old enough to understand and know better. Your Honor, I want to thank you, the court, the jurors, and the state and its law enforcement officers for saving me when I couldn't save myself, for holding all the defendants accountable, and for rendering a decision today regarding penalty in this case. I especially want to thank Officer Yamians and Investigator Dillard for going above and beyond throughout these years, and ADA Winfrey for tirelessly working on this case since day one. They're the heroes all of us ladies needed. After today, I keep hearing that I may be able to put this behind me. But Your Honor, it's never behind me. It's always with me, even in my sleep and my subconscious. I wish I could better describe to you what it feels like to be a broken human being, To be broken by witnessing and enduring true malevolence. It changes you, it shakes you to the core, and the reverberations are like a ripple effect from a pebble in a pond that ebb and flow for eons. The defendants showed no mercy when sentencing me, and I ask you today that you take that into consideration when sentencing them. Thank you again.
Ooh. Yeah, Mama is. You see what she did now. Mm-hmm.
Your Honor, with that being said, the state would like to now put on the record our recommendation for the court's consideration.
All right. Slow, please.
Absolutely. As to John Michael Hakeem Gibson, count 1, RICO, 20 years to serve.
Ooh.
Count 10, rape, life. Count 12, aggravated sodomy, life.
Ooh.
Count 22, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, 20 years to serve. Count 23, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, 20 years to serve. Count 24 and count 30, merge, 12 months to serve. Count 25, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, 5 years consecutive to the sentence. Count 26, pimping, 12 months to serve. Count 28, keeping a place of prostitution, 12 months to serve. Count 29, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, 12 months to serve. And count 45, prohibited items by an inmate, 5 years to serve. We'd ask the court as special conditions, should the court give any probated time, that a $100,000 fine be allowed pursuant to OCGA section 16-5-46. Defendant is to register as a sex offender.
Ooh.
Defendant Gibson is to stay away and have no direct or indirect contact with all named victims in the indictment, to include Diamond Irvin, who was not named in the indictment but testified at trial, and he's to stay away from their families. He is to not hold any fiduciary positions or positions of trust, and cannot possess any other person's identifying information. He is to have no social media or no dating applications, and he is to stay away from all adult entertainment establishments. He is not to engage, of course, in the commercial sex business. He is to stay away from 737 Alfred Road, Northwest in Atlanta. He is to stay away from the Mezzo apartments located at 2171 Peachtree Road in Atlanta. He is to stay away from the Fulton Industrial Boulevard corridor. He's also to stay away from 9340 St. Georgian Commons in Johns Creek. The defendant may not form a limited liability corporation or other corporation without prior knowledge and consent of his probation officer. And he must submit a financial statement every 6 to 12 months, including tax returns to his probation officer. The global sentence as it relates to defendant Gibson would be 2 life sentences plus 65 years, 60 months.
Hold on 1 second, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
2 life sentences plus 65 years. Go ahead.
60 months and 5 years consecutive.
Ooh. 2 life sentences.
Okay.
Yes, all the sentences to run consecutive. As it relates to Linda Smith, also known as Maringa Vinny, count 1,
As a
RICO,
mom.
20 years to serve. And count 37, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, 20 years to serve. We are also asking for the same special conditions as enumerated as to defendant John Gibson. That's a global of 40 years to serve. As it relates to Tyrone Taylor, he is an A recidivist,
That's his
and
cousin.
the sentence we would ask is as follows. Count 1, RICO, 20 years to serve. Count 9, rape, life. Count 11, aggravated sodomy, life. Count 13, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, 20 years to serve. Count 15, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, 20 years to serve. Count 16, false imprisonment, 10 years to serve. Count 17, pandering by compulsion, 10 years to serve. Count 18, possession of cocaine, 3 years to serve. Count 19, tampering with evidence, 12 months to serve. And count 20, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, because this is his second offense, 10 years to serve. We'd ask the following special conditions would apply. He is also to have a $100,000 fine He is to register as a sex offender.
Mhm.
He is to stay away and have no direct or indirect contact with any of the named victims, to include Diamond Irving and their families. No social media or dating applications. He must stay away from all adult entertainment establishments. And he's also to stay away from the Fulton Industrial Boulevard corridor. We are also asking that defendant Taylor submit to alcohol, drug, and treatment evaluation and any recommended treatment and random screens. That is a global sentence of 2 life sentences plus 93 years and 12 months. In closing, Your Honor, the state would ask that the punishment fit the ends of justice and bring sufficient closure to these victims in our community, our city, and our state.
All right.
He ain't getting out either. Neither one of them. Oh my Lord. You do the crime, you pay time.
Good morning to this honorable court. Carrington Matthews, Senior and Junior, on behalf of Mr. John Michael Gibson. In all things, we will give thanks. In all things, under all circumstances, good or bad. Your Honor, Code Section 16-6-1 is the rape statute. A person convicted of the offense of rape shall be punished. These are the options in our statute. It says death, by imprisonment for life without parole, by imprisonment for life, or by split sentence. That is a term of imprisonment for not less than 25 years and not exceeding life imprisonment, followed by probation for life. Code Section 16-6-2, Your Honor, governs the aggravated sodomy count. A person convicted of the offense of aggravated sodomy shall be punished by imprisonment for life or by split sentence. That is a term of imprisonment for not less than 25 years and not exceeding life imprisonment, followed by probation for life. Under 16-14-5, the RICO count, a person convicted of engaging in a RICO violation shall be guilty of a felony and shall be punished by not less than 10 or more than 20 years in prison, or the fine specified in subsection B of this code section, or both. Under 16-5-46, trafficking of a person for sexual servitude, any person who commits the offense of trafficking an individual for labor, servitude, or sexual servitude shall be guilty of a felony, and upon conviction thereof shall be punished by imprisonment for not less than 10 nor more than 20 years and a fine not to exceed $100,000. Your Honor, when we are handling sentencing hearings, Code Section 17-10-2 governs that process. In the hearing, the judge shall hear additional evidence in extenuation, mitigation, and aggravation of punishment, including the record of any prior criminal convictions and pleas of guilty or nolo contendere, or of the accused, or the absence of any prior conviction and pleas. Punishment for serious violent offenders. Based on the verdict, rape and aggravated sodomy fall within this category. The sentence of any person convicted of the serious violent felony of rape or aggravated sodomy shall, unless sentenced to life imprisonment, be a split sentence, which shall include a mandatory minimum term of imprisonment of 25 years, followed by probation for life, and no portion of the mandatory minimum sentence imposed shall be suspended, stayed, probated, deferred, or withheld by the sentencing court. Your Honor, under 17-10-10, concurrent sentences, where at one term of court, a person is convicted on more than one indictment or accusation, or on more than one count thereof, and sentenced to imprisonment, the sentences shall be served concurrently unless otherwise expressly provided therein. Under 17-10-11, granting of credit generally. Upon conviction for an offense, a person shall be given full credit for each day spent in confinement in any penal institution or facility, and in any institution or facility for treatment or examination for a disability, including pretrial confinement for any reason since the day of arrest for the offense which is the subject of the sentence. This code section shall apply to sentences for all crimes, whether classified as violations, misdemeanors, or felonies, and to all courts having criminal jurisdiction located within the boundaries of the state. Your Honor, under 17-10-12, the custodian of the defendant shall be required to make an affidavit specifying the number of days which the defendant has spent in confinement in his custody, and furnish the affidavit to the clerk of the court within 5 days after sentence is imposed if the defendant is convicted. The affidavit of the custodian of the defendant shall be made a part of the official record of the trial, and that particular affidavit will be submitted to the Department of Corrections when the defendant has been sentenced to the custody of the department. The Department of Corrections shall give the defendant credit for the number of days spent in confinement prior to conviction and sentence, as reflected in the custodian's affidavit, before forwarding the record to the State Board of Pardons and Parole. Your Honor, our legislature has set forth in these types of crimes where there's been a conviction, the contemplation of various aspects of sentencing. One that can include a minimum sentence of 25 years, followed by life on probation. I will note for the record, Your Honor, that prior to trial, the state of Georgia recommended to Mr. Gibson a sentence of 25 years on the rape. Now, our system of justice, Your Honor, frowns upon a trial penalty, a trial tax, sentencing people harsher because they elected to exercise their Sixth Amendment right to a trial, and handing and imposing a much harsher sentence goes against the grain of justice, because what it does is it has a tendency to snuff out the Sixth Amendment if a person is in fear of going to trial because of the trial penalty or the trial tax. So we're asking this court to exercise the good judgment that it has and has done throughout this trial and throughout its tenure on the bench to level a sentence that is fair, one that is just, and one that contemplates the purposes of sentencing. The purpose of sentencing, Your Honor, addresses three things. It addresses retribution, it addresses deterrence, and it addresses rehabilitation. These victims that have come forward to this podium have expressed to this court what they want the court to do. And if you've been a victim of anything, there's various cycles of thoughts and emotions that go through being a victim. You could be a victim of a sex crime, you could be a victim of a theft, you could be a victim of a heinous lie, you could be a victim of anything. And one of the things is going to be anger. One of the things is going to be trauma. One of the things could be forgiveness. There could be a lot of emotions that come out of being a victim. You have perfect victims and you have imperfect victims, but nonetheless you have victims. You can agree or disagree with the trial verdict, but we are standing here today because we are now at this sentencing phase. And we're asking this court to, when it looks at sentencing, that it also considers not just the retribution part of the sentencing, not just that, the deterrence, that's a scenario where the sentence will hopefully deter others who are in society from engaging in certain conduct, because it says, hey, listen, this is what could happen. So it's supposed to be a deterrence. There are many articles, many statistics and things of that nature that say that harsh punishments don't really deter. Maybe it does. We don't really know. And then there's an aspect of sentencing that deals with rehabilitation. Things that send a message that says, hey, look, we believe that there can be rehabilitation in a sentence that's appropriate, that allows for punishment, deterrence, and for rehabilitation. Now, Mr. Gibson is 34 years old. He has 3 children. He has a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old, and a 9-year-old. The state enumerated that he has 24 cycles. However, he has no prior felony convictions on his record. None. The open cases involve a drug charge from 2021 and possession of cell phones inside the jail. And we understand that the state brought forth a RICO indictment, and they put in this indictment a period from 2013 down through 21, 22. They did say that there are countless unknown victims. That's what they said in their representation to the court. Countless unknown victims. We are here to deal with what was heard inside this trial and what is known about 1710-2 as it relates to my client's criminal history. They also indicated that there were, quote, attempts to contact Kiera Adams weeks before trial. That is the absolute first time today that I've ever heard that representation being made. No information concerning that was brought forth to this court pre-trial. None of that information was brought forth from that witness stand during the testimony of Kiera Adams. So that's a first for me to hear that information. Each of these young ladies that have come forward, and we know who did testify in this trial, and we know who did not testify in this trial. And we don't know why individuals did not testify in this trial. We were not provided that necessary information. The court was not, nor did we. Now, this court has heard from each of the pieces of evidence in this case. This court has heard from the witnesses in this case that did testify. This court heard cross-examinations of each of these particular witnesses, and the court heard the jury's verdict. Today, the state asks for 2 life sentences, and they ask for 60 years. They ask for consecutive time. They ask for a very stacked, harsh penalty, a trial tax, a trial penalty. Now, sometimes courts say, well, Mr. Matthews, you know, the court can say, well, I was in the trial and I heard from these victims and I heard the evidence. And the court did it. The court heard this entire trial. And I know this court to be a fair court. And I know that a sentence that is proper is one that takes into consideration all of the things that are outlined in 1710-2 and the victim impact statements combined, and the fact that my client has no prior felony convictions and the purposes of sentencing. And the court will fashion a sentence. Now, if a person is granted a life sentence, Your Honor, the statute says that that person will become eligible for parole after serving 30 years in custody. That's what the statute says. And that's what I understand the law to be. I'm not asking this court to give Mr. Gibson a life sentence in this case. I'm not asking the court to give this court, Mr. Gibson, 2 life sentences. I'm asking for concurrent time. I'm asking this court, before the trial, the recommendation was 25 years. He did not accept that because Mr. Gibson wanted his day in court, and he got that. He received his day in court, Your Honor. He wanted the constitutional right to have his 6th Amendment trial, and he received that. He received a fair trial from this honorable court. So we're asking that he receive a fair sentence as well. It doesn't stop at sentencing. The fairness continues from jury selection all the way through the end of the case. And we believe that that's what will happen this morning. We're asking this court, Your Honor. My client would like to address the court.
Okay.
So before I ask the court for what I'd like to ask the court to do, can I have my client address the court?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Y'all get ready. This is where he's going to blame everybody. He's going to compare himself to a godly person. I'm going to say, here it
Good
goes.
morning, Your Honor. I want to start out by thanking you for
I did hear
giving
this
us a fair
part.
trial. I want to thank the jurors for the amount of time that they put in to judge this trial. This time being on this trial, I was able to see how the jurors are put in a tough position to, sit there and judge someone's life, and, it's a hard decision, and I felt like they made the wrong judgment. I've done things in my life. I'm not perfect, but the things I've been accused of, I know that I haven't done those things. I know it's typical for a person to come up here and, show remorse to, crimes that they have done, but I can only show remorse to the people that I know that was in this trial.
So no apologies.
Kiera Adams, Deanna Sanders, and Jasmine Brown. Not remorse on behalf of like I did anything to them, because if you know me and people who really know me know that I wouldn't force anybody to do anything. I met women, I dated women who were doing escort or whatever, however people want to look at it from a more standpoint, but who was doing these things as a grown woman. I've only dealt with grown women. Nothing was forced. Nothing was coerced or anything of that nature. If you notice before this trial, no woman can say anything about me before this trial. If you notice before this indictment, no woman can say anything about me before this indictment. I get the situations that people are put in when they're faced with a certain type of crime or a certain type of time, and they're bullied into this situation to put the blame on someone, or to put the blame on Cash Out, or to put the blame on someone who's at the top. That's why I didn't really fault them for their decision. I didn't fault Deanna Sanders for making her decision during the proffer. She just had a child. Mind you, she was just on video call with me while being incarcerated. I don't fault Kiera Adams for doing the things she did with her proffer, because mind you, she was facing a certain amount of time handling her probation in different cases that she's on. I don't fault people for making accusations, because I'm a man that typically let women leave on their own behalf. Never held them in prison or held them in slavery or said, you can't leave me, or you can't do this. Every woman you've seen come on this stand showed you that they left and came back willingly on their own. What I mean by that, they left on their own and they came back willingly on their own. During this trial, I was able to see, how valuable life is, and how valuable the people that you hang around, or the people that you even date, or the people that you even know, how valuable it is to judge their character. Sometimes I let people stay around who I knew was going to affect a situation that I had going on. So I don't, and for the people who came to this trial that I never met a day in my life, never had any contact with them, never had a text message with them, never had an interaction with them, don't even know where most of these stories came from, it's baffling. Never forced a woman to commit a sexual act. Never, I've been traveling all around the world from here to Dubai, and you would never hear a woman say that I forced them to do anything sexual or commit a rape with anybody. I don't hang around people that do things of that nature. I feel like, and somebody asked me this the other day, it was like, every time I see your head high, you always smiling, because when you have that confidence, it takes me back to the Bible. When you have that confidence and you can be falsely accused of things. Jesus was falsely accused. A lot of the prophets were falsely accused. You don't have that emotion like you've done something, so if you see me with my head high, or if you see me smiling, it's because I know at the end of the day, through Jesus Christ, the Most High will always give you the actual judgment. So I really thank you for providing us a fair trial. Just me getting to know you during trial, I was like, you know, she's just a judge. But when you sit 12 people in that panel and you know, have them, you know, judge our lives and, you know, put them in a position to judge our lives, you know, it takes you back to, once again, the Bible, when people had to judge these prophets' lives. And I say, if you know me, you actually know me. There's plenty of people that know me in this world. There's plenty of people that know me in this jail. There's plenty of people that know me where I'm from. Like I said, once again, I'm not perfect. I come from certain areas. I come from, you know, certain environments. I come from doing things in my past life before the music. But I'm here to tell you that if you sat in this trial and you paid attention to this trial, before these dates, no woman could ever say, I've done those things to them. Before these dates, you can go on my Instagram and see these women enjoying themselves, having their own things, living their own life. Before these dates, I can say you had these women that never had anything to say about me before this indictment, before the RICO. You had these women actually talking to me while I was incarcerated. I've been incarcerated for 4 years, and these women are interacting with me. These women who took the stand and supposedly scared of me or monsters, or took these, I'm a monster, or took these proffers. This wasn't the case before they was indicted. So from my perspective, I feel like some people can get bullied into a situation that they really don't really want to do. And I'm sitting here just holding my head high and just, you know, feeling that one day the truth will come out. One day the truth will come out on my situation. One day the truth will come out on this rape allegation, that these things never happened. And when you see a person get up on that stand and put their hand on the Bible and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, that means you have to be perfect, like you're Jesus. You have to be perfect on that stand. You can't show a flaw. And that's a tough one. It's a tough one for me because I had flaws in my life. So you have to tell the complete truth on that stand. And I got up there and see people put their hand on that Bible and not tell the complete truth. And that's baffling. But at the end of the day, I put my trust in the Most High. I put my trust in the universe to bring out the truth, to bring out the truth of these people who made these allegations. To me, it's like you have no heart. You have no heart. And I know people want me to stay in line or walk a toe, but when you're speaking something truthfully and you're speaking from the heart and you know that this is not your character, something must be said. And I just wanted to address the court and give my perspective on the things that I felt during this trial and the judgment that I felt that the jurors gave us was not the correct judgment. And it will show. Thank you.
All right.
Terry, you're right. He was rambling.
Your Honor, thank you for allowing Mr. Gibson to speak to this honorable court.
Mom is going to come up, and then the cousin is going to come up. He was just lying. He was just lying. Oh, my Lord. Yeah.
So, Your Honor, I'm asking this court to measure what was offered before trial
You want that
and what the
25
court
years back.
believes is fair
That offer.
after this trial, and that there not be a trial penalty imposed. I'm asking the court to consider a 30-year sentence with all of the charges run concurrent, with the exception of the firearm charge that has to be, under our statute, a consecutive imposition.
All right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Matthews.
Thank you.
All right.
He ain't going to do that. He was offered that plea deal and he turned it down because he wanted to go to trial.
She's had not a single negative incident during her stay at all. Not a single write-up, not a run-in, not an argument, nothing at all. In fact, there's a supervising officer that is in the women's location who speaks very highly of her and her involvement while in custody.
Correction, it's 1 in 37.
I'm sorry, is it 37?
Yes.
Okay, 1 in 37, my apologies.
Go ahead.
Her last, as the state shared with you, her criminal history, the only other felony to speak of related to Ms. Smith is some 32 years ago. And it's in regards to a possession of marijuana charge. While she's been in custody, she's been positively engaged and working on rehabilitation. One of the things that Mr. Matthews mentioned that is expected to come out of sentencing and what the expectation is. She's already been working on her rehabilitation since she's been in custody. She has been a pod worker, which is the equivalent of a trustee. So her requirements there is that she cleans the pod, that she passes out food, that she mops floors, that she sweeps floors, that she makes sure that clothes get washed. And while that sounds to some, while it might be, I don't know, even demeaning to some, it's actually a privilege that's bestowed upon them while they're in custody, that they're able to be trusted to do these things. And she's been trusted to do these things while she's been in custody since 2022. She has participated in the New Beginnings program, is still participating in the New Beginnings program, working towards the certificate that they receive at the end of that. Through that, they participate in anger management, parenting classes, AA classes, cosmetology, all these things, regardless of whether or not these are areas that pertain to their particular arrest or pertain to something that they've personally asked for or needed. And she's walked through all of them. She's participated in everything. Since she's been in custody, she has been conducting Bible study for the past, I want to say 2.5 years. And in that, she has received a certificate. It's for the faith worth dying for, having achieved a grade of 100%. She's also participated in lessons on assurance and received a certificate for that through the Set Free Prison Ministries Rehabilitation by Regeneration program that's at the jail for her. During the time that she's been in custody, she's unfortunately lost her father. During this trial, you learned that while at the home in Johns Creek, her father lived with her. She had a family that lived in a home with her, and she was a primary caregiver. Since she's been in custody, she's lost him. Her mother is 77 and is in Alabama. Her brother is just 50. And during the time that her father was severely declining, he went into a coma. He's recently come out of the coma. He requires speech therapy. He requires, I believe, occupational therapy and physical therapy, and is receiving dialysis. So naturally, her mother at 77, her brother at 50 with all these now special needs, these are folks that she would like to get back to. Folks that she would like to be able to caregive for like she did for her father while he was ill before she went into custody. We attempted, Ms. Smith never wanted to be in trial. Ms. Smith never wanted to have a trial. And so there were several conversations and meetings that the state and I had, and the bottom line is that we were just far too far apart on being able to reach a negotiation that we could present to this court. So she ended up in trial. But definitely not a choice of hers. I've heard the recommendation from the state, which ultimately is the max on the 2 charges and to run them consecutively. On behalf of Ms. Smith, I would ask for something different, but I do want to allow Ms. Smith an opportunity to speak on her own behalf if Your Honor would like to hear from her. You can come up now.
Now that's the mom coming up. That's Linda Smith. That's Cash Out Mom. And she was part of that.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Everything he did.
I'd like to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I'm sorry. I'd like to say thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak. Not a day, ever since I turned myself in, I was always prayerful for the victims. I take accountability. I pray for them continuously. I pray for the district attorney's office. I pray for you, Judge, because that's what God requires me to do. And that's what I truly feel in my heart, because I love God so much. And I'm so full of joy. That Friday, when the verdict came in, I wasn't angry at all. Not at all. I almost thought something was wrong with me. So that Saturday, well, the night before, let me back up. I talked to God like I always do. And he said, I must give my testimony to the young ladies in New Beginnings. And I said, Father God, I don't want to put my business out there. That's my business. But Father God said, your business is my business, and my agenda is your agenda. He said for me, which I always do, I respect authority. And Sergeant Ball was on the shift in my pod. So I had to speak to her. I was kind of afraid to speak to her. But Father God reminded me, he said, I'm by your side, do not fear. So I pressed the button and I asked, could I speak to her? Because I knew that in order to get my testimony, there's authority that I must talk to. So I went out and she asked me what was going on. And I said, Sergeant Paul, I'm asking, like, during devotion, will I be able to give my testimony? Because that's what God has said for me to do. It wasn't a choice. God doesn't give you that. He gives commandments. And I never want to be disobedient to God. She said, Miss Smith, she said, you cannot be disobedient to God. So if you give your testimony and it just saves one person, just one person, you've done what God asked you to do. So I gave my testimony to about 35 women in the New Beginnings pod with me. God was speaking through me. I give him all the praise and glory. It's not me at all. My attorney, she's been great. She's been great. And she asked me when she came Sunday to speak to me what I would like her to say. And she has done that. And I just say, give me an opportunity just to speak to the judge just a little bit. I'm so sorry for the victims. And I pray for them and will continue to pray. Because God says, if you love me, you love others. And when I pray wholeheartedly. I didn't think I could do it in the beginning. I said, God, I don't know if I can do this. But he knew exactly what he wanted me to do. He chose me to do this. I couldn't even stop teaching the word if I wanted to. That's not even an option with me. Whatever you wish it to be, I'm okay with that. Because I will continue to spread the good news wherever I go. Because that's the path that God put me on. It's been with me for a long time. I just didn't take notice to it. I love what I do. I love spreading the good news. I love showing love to all, and I mean it wholeheartedly. I'm not angry at all. And I thank you for this opportunity. Ms. Winfrey, I thank you. I thank everyone.
Thank you. I'm going to be asking that you sentence her to a period of 20 years to serve 5 with the balance on probation. The state has listed their conditions. I have no objection to the conditions that they have listed, so I ask that those conditions be the conditions that this court sentence her to. And that she be allowed to serve the balance of her 20 years on probation outside of that 5 years.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Green.
So handcuffed. You see the handcuffed like this. Now this is for the attorney for the cousin.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Is in the look, maybe.
I will be brief because Mr. Matthews has said a lot of what I was going to say up here for Mr. Taylor. I would just like to add, Mr. Taylor's been incarcerated longer than everyone else. He's been in jail since this arrest for this case back in 2019. Mr. Taylor, out of this entire trial, played the smallest role, if any, in regards to this quote unquote enterprise. And just remember that literally majority of the people that took a stand didn't even know who Mr. Taylor was. Or if they had seen him, they'd seen him once, maybe somewhere over the years. As I have said throughout this trial and at the beginning, Mr. Taylor isn't similarly situated to literally every other co-defendant that's on this case. We've all been through these hearings, we've all been through the trial. I just wanted to put that out there on the record because Mr. Taylor wanted to make sure that it was known he's played the smallest role in this case, yet he's already been punished more than every other person on the indictment. Before we talk about, well, as the state said, Mr. Taylor is an A recidivist, so there's not really much I can do when it comes to sentencing with the court. However, Mr. Taylor does want to address the court before we move forward.
All right.
So here he comes. Thank you for coming in, MAL.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Good morning.
My name is Tyrone Orlando Taylor.
Speak up a little loud for me, sir.
My name is Tyrone Orlando Taylor.
They are chained up.
I know my life ain't been perfect. I made a lot of mistakes in life. I know my background ugly, but not violent, like being caught with guns and robbery and murders and stuff. I know that I made a lot of mistakes by making the wrong decisions. And I learned since 2019, I've been incarcerated to make the right decision. I learned a lot of patience. And the victims who accusing me of something that they said I did, that I didn't do. And it hurt me. Since I've been locked up, my family, I've been having folks dying on me. My son growing up, my daughter growing up. And I've been doing the best I can to get out of this situation. And for the victim, Jordan Allen, I asked that she forgive me if she felt like I did any harm to her. I don't harm no one. I help people. I always have jobs that I work. I was a chef. I put pipes in the ground. I helped create Centennial Park, the Kroger off Ponce de Leon. I was working. I was doing a lot of positive things, but I had my foot sometimes in the wrong mud. So since I've been doing time, I learned to stay positive and don't do nothing negative. Just stay positive, stay prayed up. I talk to my mama every day. That's all I call my mama. Every day since I was locked up. And I talk to my son. I tell him, make the right decision. I talk to him like he's a brother. Make the right decision. And think about the consequences on the bad and the good. And I know that people judge me on my look. I got a strong face. I'm a man. I look like I can't help how I look. I'm not no violent person, no hurter. I don't hurt nobody. And any woman who got an understanding say I hurted them. They can't show no proof, no picture, no report that I really physically hurted them. I got a mother, I got sisters, I got nieces, I got aunties. I love women. I ain't ever committed no crime that they're accusing me that I committed. You can look at my record. In the past, I was a user. I used to use drugs and 20.
So all these women are making this up. All of them are making this up. That's what he trying to tell us, guys. He just got a strong face.
In 2017, I was in a drug program called Stan Inc. Fulton County put me in now. And when I was in there, when I completed the program, I was with my friend Felicia. I was in a relationship with her in 2017, 18, and 19. I got caught up with this for something that I didn't do. And I don't know how to say it, but I know that if I actually can't get another chance to prove that I'm a righteous person, I'm not violent, I'm not no threat, I'm not none of that what they saying I am. I promise you I'm not. That's all I got to say, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, thank you for giving him the opportunity to speak.
That's all he got to say, huh? He just got a strong face.
Take some time with this. Shoot back 10 minutes.
Who they blaming the women?
10 minutes-ish.
They don't even know them, huh? How did he get caught up in this then? Somebody, you did something to somebody. It all chained up. Blaming it on his looks. Cousin is blaming it on his looks. Mama is just feeling, just crying and talking about. She never apologized to the women. She didn't say nothing about an apology to the women. And now I want y'all to watch this. I think it's Do he have his underwear hanging out? His underwear was hanging out, guys. Okay, let me just let this go on past. Be taking a break. Okay. Here we go, guys. Let me pass it. It's still on break. I'm glad they got a big, nice clock so everybody can see it, even for people that have to have glasses on. They still could be able to see that clock. Wait, here it is. Here we go. So the time is, okay, here it is. It's time to come back. Time to come back. Wait, now I guess they haven't came back in the courtroom yet. Okay, the cousin's name is Tyrone Taylor. Mama name is Lisa Smith. And cash out legal name is John Michael Hakeem Gibson. He's 34 years old with 3 children. They're all teenagers except for one. The youngest one is 9 years old. And this is, they all have been found guilty of RICO for the same thing that the Dittler was going down for. Let me see, can I push this a little further?
On count one.
Wait, here it is.
In this case reflects that the state.
Oh, here they come. Okay, that's the mama. That's cash out.
This hand. You ready? Okay.
Hi, sweetie.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for coming in.
During the course of this trial, the court heard and viewed evidence demonstrating the very worst of human behavior toward other human beings. The jury verdict in this case reflects that the state met its burden in proving beyond a reasonable doubt that the diabolical conduct of the defendants occurred. The sentencing to be meted out by this court will be responsive to that. Mr. John Michael Hakeem Gibson, would you please stand?
That's cash out.
On count one.
Rapper.
Violation of the Georgia RICO Act, 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 10. On count 10, rape. Life in confinement.
Life.
Count 12, aggravated sodomy. Life in confinement to run concurrent.
That's 2 life sentences.
With count 10. Count 22, trafficking a person for sexual servitude. 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 1. Count 23, trafficking a person for sexual servitude. 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 22. Count 24 on the lesser included offense of battery. 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 25, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. 5 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 23. Count 26, pimping. 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10.
You look like you're about to fall back.
Count 27, pandering. 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 28, keeping a place of prostitution. 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 29, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 30, simple battery. merges into count 24, battery. Count 45, possession of prohibited items by an inmate. 5 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 25. Conditions of this sentence: no contact with any of the victims named in the indictment, to include Diamond Irvin or their families.
Gonna be labeled.
You are to register as a sex offender.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yes,
are
he is.
to stay away from 737 Alfred Road in Atlanta. You are to stay away from the Mezzo condominium, 2171 Peachtree. You are to stay away from the St. George's Commons address, and you are to stay away from the Fulton Industrial Boulevard corridor. All right, you may be seated. All right, Ms. Smith.
Here come the mother. It's almost over, guys.
As to count 1, violation of the Georgia RICO Act, 20 years to serve in confinement. Count 37, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, 10 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive to count 1. You're to have no contact with any of the victims, including Diamond Irvin, named in this indictment, or their families. You are to register as a sex offender. You are to stay away from 737 Alfred Road, the Mezzo at 2171 Peachtree Road, the address at the St. George's Commons, 9340, and the FIB, Fulton Industrial Boulevard corridor. You may be seated. All right, Mr. Taylor. On count 1, violation of the Georgia RICO Act, 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 9. Count 9, rape, life in confinement. Count 11, aggravated sodomy, life in confinement to run concurrent with count 9. Count 13, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 1. Count 15, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 13. Count 16, false imprisonment, 10 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 15. Count 17, pandering by compulsion, 10 years to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 9. Count 18, possession of cocaine, 3 years to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 9. Count 19, tampering with evidence, 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 9. Count 20, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer by use of threats or violence, 10 years to serve to run concurrent with count 9 and a suspended fine of $300. You're to have no contact with any of the victims named in the indictment, nor are you to have any contact with Diamond Irvin or any of their families. You are to stay away from the Fulton Industrial Boulevard corridor. You are to stay away from 737 Alfred Road in Atlanta. You are to stay away from the Mezzo address at 2171 Peachtree Road and the address at the St. George Commons, 9340. You register as a sex offender. And that is the sentence of this court. You may be seated. Mr. Gibson, Ms. Smith, and Mr. Taylor, I have to give you some post-conviction rights that you have, all right? You may remain seated while I give you these rights, okay? You need to know that that you have the right to seek post-judgment relief from your convictions, the crimes, by either making a motion for a new trial in this court and or filing an appeal to a higher appellate court. If you wish to file a motion for a new trial or an appeal, then you will need to file the said motion or notice of appeal with the clerk of the Superior Court of this county within 30 days of the judgment and jury verdict, the final disposition. You may wish to more fully discuss this with your lawyers. If a motion for a new trial is made and the court denies it, you will have 30 days from the filing of the order of denial in which to file with the clerk of this court your notice of appeal. You have a right to have a lawyer represent you on the motion for a new trial and the first level of direct appellate review. And if you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, the court will provide you a lawyer and a transcript of your trial at no cost. With respect to felony convictions, you usually have a period of 4 years from the date that your sentence in this court becomes final to file what is known as a habeas corpus petition. On any misdemeanors, you have a period of 1 year from the date your sentence in this court becomes final to file a habeas corpus petition. All right? And with that, they may be taken back.
Watch this, guys. He ain't happy at all. Cash Out ain't happy. Pull your pants up.
Oh, yes. All right. Yes.
They should let mama and son at least say bye, and cousin at least let them all hug each other, because they ain't gonna, well, they ain't gonna ever see the mama again. He did this to somebody, cousin did. Okay, guys. Woo! How did y'all enjoy that? Now tomorrow we do have someone else that did the court thing. Somebody else that was arrested. Okay? We're going to talk about that tomorrow. All right? We're going to talk about that tomorrow. And so I already got that already set up. I want to thank everybody for being here. That was good. I enjoyed watching it. That was good. I mean, that was good, guys. And I do appreciate everybody for coming in. Yes, I do. I appreciate you all for coming in. Make sure you all hit that like button. Please do hit that like button and everything. And we will be going live tomorrow. We will be focusing on somebody else. They should learn. These people should learn. Okay? And y'all know how we do it. Thank you, Sweet Tea, for coming in. Terry for coming in. MAL for coming in. Thank you all for coming in. King Speaking Esquire, thank you for coming in. Renita D, thank you all for being here, and everybody else if I miss you, thank you all. Please, y'all, hit the like button on your way out, and we'll see you all tomorrow with some more good stuff. All right. Thank you, guys. And y'all know, y'all know how we do it, right?
That day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet. Damn, ain't that